Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today I shall discuss Fiedler's contingency leadership theory. The primitive research in leadership was based solely on leaders' characteristics. Trait theories examined the leadership taking the leaders' inborn qualities viewpoint, while behavioral models focused on leaders' behavior and style. However, both approaches failed to consider other variables that might affect a leader's effectiveness. Hence, considering the limitations of trait and behavioral theories, the leadership research directed to examine the various contingencies that affect the leadership style and hence its effectiveness. In 1960s, Fred E. Fiedler was the first researcher to propose a contingency view of leadership. In this lesson, I shall explain the Fiedler's leadership model. The learning objectives of this lesson are: describe how the situation influences the choice of leadership objectives, and to present an overview of the contingency theory of leadership effectiveness. In the context, explain the Fiedler's contingency theory. Situational influences on leadership behavior. It is a common belief that a leader is effective and successful under all types of situations. However, research has shown its opposite, that a leader may not be fit for all situations. Disparate situations result in variation in leadership behavior and style. In this regard, researchers have identified three key roles of situations in leadership effectiveness. Organizational effectiveness is affected by situational factors not under the leader control. The leader might be able to influence the situation, yet some situational factors are beyond the leader's complete control. The manager of a prosperous, independent organization was running the business smoothly and without any trouble. Suddenly, he faces new competition in the market. Our government levies new taxes. This situation will seriously affect his ability to lead a successful business. He might be smart enough to deal with the situation, yet doing business will be a challenge. Situations shape how leaders behave. Under crisis or in difficult times, a warm and friendly person may become cold and unfriendly. He may turn to directive and control style. He might lose his enthusiasm and energy. Situations influence the consequences of leader behavior. Instead, a specific type of leadership behavior might have different outcomes in different situations. The command and control style may work well with a team of less competent people, but having skilled and experienced workforce, this style may leave the workers demoralized. Contingency means that one thing depends on other things, and a leader's style is contingent upon situations and followers. The theory describes leaders are most effective when they make their behavior contingent on situational forces, including group member characteristics, and the internal and external environment surrounding the leadership situation. The research has implied that situational variables such as task nature, task structure, and the environment of the organization are important to leadership style. For instance, a leader needs to take into account the organizational culture to decide about the best leadership style. A command and control leadership style may not be effective in a company with a collaborative and friendly culture. Similarly, the characteristics of followers such as needs, maturity, skills, and cohesiveness have also been identified as key contingency, and it make a significant difference to the style of leadership. For example, a manager who supervises competent employees might be able to practice consensus leadership. The key assumptions of Fiedler theory state that a leader style is consistent pattern of behavior. The theory classifies leadership style as relationship focused or task motivated. A relationship oriented leader is concerned with people. He tends to build a relationship with team members based on mutual trust and respect. A task oriented leader is primarily concerned with the achievement of task objectives. Such a leader provides clear objectives and directions, as well as sets performance standards. The behavioral pattern is relatively enduring and difficult to change. A leadership style that works in one situation might not work in another situation. The basic idea of the theory is very simple. The best leadership style is determined by the situation in which leader is working. It means for leadership effectiveness, there must be a good match between the leader's style and the situation. For organizational as well as leader's success, style of the leader must fit the situation. If this is not possible, then leadership behaviors such as task behavior and relationship behavior needs to be adjusted to address the contingencies. According to Fiedler, leader's style is fixed and can be measured by the least preferred co-worker questionnaire. The way in which a leader will evaluate a co-worker will indicate whether the leader is task motivated or relationship motivated. Fiedler's research shows that how a leader perceives and describes his co-workers provide insight into his motive and drive. People who have high LPC scores rate their least preferred co-worker relatively positive, describing that person as loyal, sincere, warm, and accepting. They are relationship motivated and draw their self-esteem from having good relationships with others. For them, the least preferred co-worker is often someone who has been disloyal and unsportive, rather than incompetent. Leaders who give a low least preferred co-worker scores to their least preferred co-worker describe the person as incompetent, cold, untrustworthy, and quarrelsome. These leaders are task motivated. They are driven mostly from job accomplishment. Fiedler's theory classifies situations as high, moderate, and low control. The degree of control determines how favorable a situation is for the leader. The most favorable situation is one where leader exercises high control. The control level is determined by rating the situation on its three dimensions: the quality of leader-member relations, task structure, and position power. Leader-member relations measure the quality of interpersonal relationships between leader and team members. When subordinates trust, respect, and have confidence in the leader-member relations are considered good. On the contrary, poor leader-member relations are described when subordinates distrust, don't respect, and have little confidence in the leader. Task structure measures how clearly the jobs, procedures, goals, and evaluation mechanisms are defined. Routine, well-defined tasks, such as those of assembly line workers, have a high degree of structure, whereas creative, ill-defined tasks, such as research and development or strategic planning, have a low degree of task structure. When task structure is high, the situation is considered favorable to the leader, and when it is low, the situation is less favorable. One factor that moderates task structure is the leader's experience. On the one hand, if leaders have experience with a task, they will perceive task as more structured. On the other hand, not having enough experience will make any task appear to be unstructured. Position power measures the leader's formal authority over subordinates, such as the authority to hire, fire, discipline, and grant salary increases to group members. Position power is high when the leader has the power to plan and direct the work of subordinates, evaluate it, and reward or punish them. Position power is low when the leader has little authority over subordinates and cannot evaluate their work or reward them. When position power is high, the situation is considered favorable for the leader, and when low, the situation is unfavorable. Combining the three situational characteristics, such as leader-member relations, task structure, and leader position power, yield a list of 8 leadership situations, which are represented in this figure. Situation 1 is considered most favorable to the leader because leader-member relations are good, task structure is high, and leader position power is strong. Whereas situation 8 is most unfavorable to the leader because leader-member relations are poor, task structure is low, and leader position power is weak. Other octants represent intermediate degrees of favorableness for the leader. Leadership effectiveness depends on matching leaders to the situations in which they can exercise more control. A leader should therefore be placed in a situation that is favorable or matches his style. If this cannot be accomplished, the situation might be modified to match the leader's style. For this purpose, we can manipulate one or more of the three situational variables. We can either modify leader-member relation variable, the task structure variable, or the leader position power variable. The findings of Fiedler work suggest that a leader should know two things in order to use this contingency theory. First, the leader should know whether he or she has a relationship or task-oriented style. Second, the leader should diagnose the situation and determine whether leader-member relations, task structure, and position power are favorable or unfavorable. The model predicts that task-oriented leaders are most effective when the situation is either highly favorable or highly unfavorable. The reason that task-oriented leader excels in favorable situations because everyone gets along, the task is clear, and leader has power. This is all that is needed for someone to take charge and provide direction. Similarly, if the situation is highly unfavorable to the leader, a great deal of structure and task direction is needed. And only a strong leader defines task structure and can establish authority over subordinates. The relationship-oriented leader performs better in the situation of intermediate favorability because human relation skills are important in achieving high group performance. In these situations, the leader may be moderately well-liked, have some power, and supervise jobs that contain some ambiguity. A leader with good interpersonal skills can create a positive group atmosphere that will improve relationships, clarify task structure, and establish position power. A major contribution of Fiedler's work is that it has taken into account both traits and the situations to better understand the leadership. His work had set a direction and inspired many others to research the contingency viewpoint of leadership. The model has been highly acclaimed theory in organizational psychology, and at one time it was used extensively to conduct leadership training programs. The model has also informed leaders the importance of learning their style and sizing up the matching situation to gain better control and give best performance. At the same time, along with its advantages, the contingency theory is too complicated to have much of impact on most leaders. A major problem revolves around matching the situation to the leader. In most situations, the amount of control the leader exercises varies from time to time. For example, if a relationship motivated leader were to find the situation becoming too favorable for exercising control, it is doubtful that he would be transferred to a less favorable situation or attempt to make the situation less favorable. The model is not clear about how the model works over time. For instance, if a task-oriented leader is matched with an unfavorable situation and he becomes successful, and organizational situation is likely to improve and become a situation more appropriate for a relationship-oriented leader. Finally, Fiedler's model and much of the subsequent research fails to consider leaders who stand at the middle of least preferred co-worker scale. Though some studies indicate that they are more effective than leaders who are holding positions at the either ends of the LPC scale. Presumably, medium LPC leaders balance the concern for relationships with a concern for task achievement, making them more effective in majority of situations. Thank you for being with me.